it is time for two Titans to clash here to find a way to get their name on that trophy. Steps in the right direction will be put down on this very match about to go down here, Moses.
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome. I mean, Seized and Guardian, Simple and Guardian, these guys have got to be huge. But this Na'Vi team, for me, it's all about, how can they actually recover? Flamey's been having a lights-out tournament as well. So, I mean, the tools you need to overcome the fact that as a team, you're a little bit disorganized, a little bit dysfunctional at times still. You have all the talent needed to overcome some of those issues, but is it enough for Astralis? Because they are one of the scariest looking teams we have. They have the star power, they have the tactics, they have everything to be champions. And this is that tournament where, I mean, if you look at this Astralis team with the teams that have been knocked out, no Virtus Pro, no SK, this is them saying, this is their championship, it's got to feel like.
Absolutely, we are now seconds away from getting this one started. Ladies and gents, are you ready for Na'Vi up against two Astralis? And already we are kicking this one off. It looks actually, tell a lie, yep. They might be restarting this one for a second.
Not
just
quite
gonna tease you guys a little bit, you know what I mean?
Ah, what a jerk move. Someone didn't like their spawns.
That's it, there we go, guys. Do show who you're supporting here. I think it's quite clear who they're backing. After Taz promised to destroy Astralis, maybe Na'Vi will step into that place and do what's right by the Virtus Pro side. Yeah,
I mean, this crowd seemed fully in the favor of Na'Vi in this one. That's going to be dangerous. Snacks didn't help anything at all either, but Astralis comes out all armor, no nades, no kits. They just want to win. They just want to straight up destroy Na'Vi in this round, prevent any kind of plant. And the other side, I think it's Seized and Guardian. They've got smokes, they've got flashes, so a tactical plan for Na'Vi in the pistol round.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a bit of a crunch towards A if we just keep eyes on where they're currently waiting, but things can change depending on factors that come up, maybe a pick here or there, but 3 players over towards B, but the bomb's still over by A, and we'll have to wait and see if they actually commit to this, or if they fancy maybe hitting over towards B. They can easily make a slow rotate there.
Yeah, I mean, with the current positioning, I mean, the bomb being towards A, it was in T-spawn, so you feel like they could have gone to either bomb side, but it almost feels like this is going to be a split with a couple players coming up the connector, the smoke's out. I mean, the X factor with that is Xyp9x on catwalk at the moment. If he stays there, he can have an avenue. If that's not properly smoked off, it doesn't look like it. He could slow things down.
Yeah, Xyp9x is going to be the first big contender here unless Device does something, but Glaive's found Seized, and now Device knows what's coming. They've read this well, and Xyp9x claiming one, looking for the follow. He gets it. Great work from Xyp9x. That's cut this attack in half. It's running without legs now as Simple looks to find an answer, and there's nothing to be seen. Xyp9x picking up that form that we wanted to see from the man.
Yeah, that's not good. I mean, right off the bat, Na'Vi uses their utility. A little bit of a questionable pistol round, in my opinion, because you have the smokes, you have the flashbangs and nades, but you're not using them for the brunt of your attack. The 3 players coming from mid, they have no cover in window, they have no cover in catwalk. The smokes are designed to protect people into the A bomb site, so, I mean, utility not wisely used that round from Na'Vi, and Astralis punishes it.
Astralis not going to let this one slip. They want to solidify their results recently. They want to prove they are worthy of the crown that you can gain from being here at Katowice. But standing their way, of course, Na'Vi looking for any opportunity now, especially into this round. Deagles, a couple of upgraded pistols, bit of armor too. So they're still being very much a contender, but you've got to hope that they do something about Catwalk, because Xyp9x is still there, Device is in connector. They're just going to ignore window and play around this one. There we go. Device is going to back away, maybe feeling a bit of a pinch here. It looks like that A hit again going to come through, but Device waits with loving arms on the other side, but Flamey overwhelms him.
Yeah, and they need that. Xyp9x on catwalk, though. He's still doing damage. He does take a dink. He's got to fall back. KRB now, he's the next one up. The UMP, and he gets shut down immediately. The Deagle hasn't connected quite yet. They would love a plant here. They've got a couple kills, and Seized has the bomb. He's not going for it quite yet. Trying to find one more kill, trying to get a little bit of a safer situation, but he should be able to get the bomb down.
They've got to be careful here, Astralis, to not overextend until Xyp9x can do something. He's on the long flank here. He's going to be a little while yet, and then they can pinch this pressure. But Seized and Guardian playing out of the sight. Seized going to find one towards CT, cannot follow up. And now Guardian left in the 1v2. Xyp9x is possible, but that positioning is tough. But no kits on the Astralis side, so timing could be a factor, and Guardian gets a chance at it, but cannot connect, readjusts well. Again, dancing with the Devil Dupree. He's going to be trying to just get himself towards the side. Guardian is buying plenty of time. Ring of Roses goes wrong, but there is Xyp9x on that long route.
And no kit. That's a very dangerous slow play strike for Xyp9x. A lot of damage done from Na'Vi in this round. Astralis do come out of it alive, playing with fire a little bit there, but 2-0 for Astralis. Na'Vi's drawn blood, though. And this is going to get the economy, the rebuys that come out for Astralis, they're going to be on that kind of dreaded reset scenario. They need to build up some bank. They need to survive with a lot of players in this round.
Let's see what Na'Vi go for. I don't think there's going to be too much. Oh, okay. We've got a couple of hero pieces coming out.
Yeah, I like this. This is aggression. This is them just not taking their foot off the pedal. They want to keep the pressure on Astralis for as long as possible. Simple, Edward, the Deagles, no utility, no armor. They're trusting these 3 AKs, and I mean, Flamey's a pretty trustworthy person to have an AK in his hands. Last round was just a repeat of the pistol round. This round, it's mid-control for Na'Vi with these rifles, and I mean, this is where maybe they are able to catch Astralis off guard.
Seized is definitely up for a chance on this one. Eyes towards window, but no one actually there. Device is just off towards the left, but it's still Xyp9x being a big player in towards this one up on cap. Still got the utility, still have everything they need, but they don't expect that surprise factor from Na'Vi. This could still change everything. Smoke towards window, and it's starting to build up here.
Yeah, and I mean, because of this buy, because it's a little bit earlier than you'd expect, there's not a lot of nades on the Na'Vi side, so I mean, they can run out of this utility. They have to use everything very, very wisely. Decent nade, Simple takes a little bit of chip damage. And they're trying to punish this from Xyp9x, and there's the AK. Now Astralis knows it's a rifle buy. He's gonna stay around in an off angle, but Guardian wins that. Slowly peeking over. He's down low, Device for the delayed peek. Can't find anything. Guardian gets another. This is looking great for Na'Vi. They've opened up the B bomb site, and it's just Kjaerbye left.
Brave play from Na'Vi to go on that buy in that round, but it has worked so well so far. Kjaerbye pretty far out from this round as well. Simple's got it. And Na'Vi do not ease off the gas here. They knew they were close in the last couple of rounds. They knew they had him on the ropes. And now they've broken back into this one.
That's very nicely done. And I mean, this is now 3 rounds in a row. We've seen Xyp9x playing pretty aggressively on that catwalk, peering out towards mid. Him and Device seemingly working together to kind of keep control of that, hoping not to let Na'Vi go forward with it. So when the ops come out, when there's gun rounds, it'll be interesting to see. But for now, Astralis upgrading to Deagles, upgrading to pistols, trying to get the return force buy.
Not going to be so easy this time. You can see Na'Vi just hitting the brakes, waiting to see if there's any aggression throughout the map. It's something that we've all become a little bit accustomed to at this point. dupreeh known for just blaring up mid, but at this point, nothing yet coming through. They're playing this one out calmly, collectively, barring Glaive. He's pushed up by ramp, and might have heard Flamey. We're going to find out if he has. Flamey just not quick enough. Glaive's there, and Glaive gets the job done. He can back away now, but Simple's wanting to maybe avenge this.
Yeah, nice peek from Kjaerbye though to protect his teammate, but it doesn't matter. Simple, too much skill. He's expecting that jump from Glaive. Over aggression gets punished. 45 HP on Simple, and all of Na'Vi has rotated back. This is going to be a hit towards the A bomb site. It's coming slowly. The AKs, are they going to do damage? There's Guardian with another entry.
Yeah, it's down to Device. He's the closest to this one. He might back away towards CT, play it a little bit calmer, wait for his teammates to have some support, maybe try and find something while they rotate in, but bomb is in Guardian's hands, yet to move, but dupreeh hits a stunner. Edward goes down, and now Simple basically turreting at this point, looking for anyone, daring anyone to peek into him. Device finds Guardian. This is disaster. It's gone from bad to worse now. And Simple is low, but he wants to keep this one in check. 2v2, Xyp9x and Device still standing. Device position truly noted. And Xyp9x looking for any sort of relevance into this round. Simple puts the molly down. Device cornered, sits back, waits, desperate for that molly to not spread, and just hope that he gets a shot through there. That is dangerous. And here we go. Seized moving, and they want to isolate the CT player, but they're both there, and Device again. That's huge, and now it's 1v1. Device against Simple. Simple wants it, but he can't have it. Device, what a beast.
And that's just, there was a smoke on Simple that whole round. He could have blocked off that CT spawn and had a safe plant. I don't know if he realized it. No one maybe called it out for him, but I mean, you give Device that long of an opening, and he plays that so smart, so patient, even when the Molotov comes in. And then even the aggression there at the end, I mean, Astralis just kind of bait him into that kind of a push. They're not expecting the second player to wrap back around to team up with Device. Brilliant, brilliant play from Astralis.
And now Na'Vi again, look at this buy. It's still deadly. Let's be very clear about what Guardian can do with this, as can Simple.
Missed smoke there from Na'Vi as well. They wanted to block off that window. It's not going to happen. Guardian does have the AWP, and he's got that in the B halls. So Edward with his deagle is point man in mid. They have control of it. No one from Astralis really peeking, but they have kind of a contain on it, which is, you know, something Astralis. Oh, nice shot from Guardian. Device caught out in the open. Probably not expecting an out buy in this round.
No, leading by example quite literally at this point for Guardian. He's now dominating towards that B side, just keeping tabs across everything. And now Astralis have to find a route back in, find something, find an avenue to work with, because they have so little towards B now. They're running out of a lot of options and a lot of time, and these afterplan positions for Na'Vi are going to be pretty much exactly what they want.
I think Astralis just might save in this round. They have no position. They have no control of anything. They got really outmaneuvered on the map here, so no real chance, especially two UMPs to retake. We know they're powerful, but against AKs, against AWPs coming through those choke points, a little bit of disadvantage. So a nice round from Na'Vi, exploiting the fact that Astralis is putting a big presence in mid early on in these rounds.
Yeah, Edward going down, not the end of the world. He did only have a pistol in that one, so if anyone's going to fall, that's fine. But here it is, Astralis being tested here. And it looks like individually, speaking of Na'Vi, they're doing well. Guardian looking like he's confident, which is something you don't often... It's weird that you don't see it as much anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the storyline with Navi at the moment, right? Is that Guardian has never, he's one of those players who lost his step due to the injury early last year, and he's one player we haven't seen get back to that level. But I mean, we saw it yesterday on this map against Cloud9. Guardian was in that mode that we like to see, where he was hunting down ways to dominate the match. So here again, a good start for him, 5-3. Guardian with the op. That'll be interesting when that gets out on device eventually. And I mean, it's tough that they haven't gotten it because this has been an economic struggle early on. They haven't been able to afford it, but that'll be an interesting battle.
Yeah, and this might be a huge misread, or at least just a bit of a gamble, a bit of a stack coming out from Astralis, but it is not the right one. Glaive has, well, a lot to handle and does none of it. Na'Vi push through. They have actually a pretty clean side. Barring Kiebi watching that push through from jungle, but a couple of smokes needs to be blocked off, but it's Guardian doing the work. Anyway, he doesn't need the smoke, he wants the fights. A dangerous game you're playing, Guardian, but so far you're coming up trumps.
Yeah, the AWP, and again, just out-positioned Astralis. They can't even try and retake this. They don't have players to try and get an early kill to even have the concept of it. And even UMP on Zipnix, but look at this. There's a player actually wrapping around to the B bomb site. That's going to be Seized, trying to take these guns away, not wanting them to have another buy in the next round. And there's one kill for him. Dupree returns onto Flamey. But yeah, this was just simple tactically from Na'Vi. They just walk up into A, and it's Glaive who's the only one there, cannot hold them all off.
Yeah, Seized is showing no mercy this round. He's taking the whole team if he can. Device is pretty safe here, to be honest, so he should be able to keep hold of this one. But this is a rocky start for Astralis mentally for them. They've got to get themselves back into this game. Back and forth rounds, always going to be tricky for the CT side, of course, just overall. But good for Na'Vi to stabilize after what was a very tricky start for them too. So far, 3-3 is the scoreline, but the first few rounds certainly look a little bit closer than expected.
And this is what you want to see out of Na'Vi, because this is where teams who are struggling at the moment of actually playing as like a single unit or having some of those issues with cohesion among players. If you lose the round that they did earlier on, I mean, that's, just to like Device's Deagle, that's the one that can like spiral out of control. That's the one that can really tilt you. So it's good to see Na'Vi, and still early on in this match, but staying strong mentally and just returning the favor back onto Astralis.
Caution by Na'Vi into this round. Deep nades coming through from Astralis. There's a little bit of that nuke buy-up almost. We just want to just chuck all those nades up, hope to catch one, get someone low, but doesn't really work out. Too aware for Na'Vi. Keep themselves calm in this one. Eventually they're going to have to hit the side, which is always the danger. Is there a stack? Is there something? Can we work it out? Can we feel this out? But they do have mollies. They do have the ability to kind of, I guess, work through and work out where the opposition are. But for now, I think we have a little bit of an issue on stage. So one of the players going to be calling for the pause.
Yeah, small tech delay. But yeah, this is, I mean, that's actually a pretty cool round from Na'Vi as well, just slowing things down. You can see Astralis still wanting to keep that mid control, wanting to battle for it. So I mean, when this does get back up, remember Device has an M4 that he saved, and that's the most power, that's the most strength on this Astralis side that they can have, is that one M4. So where does he decide to get aggressive? Where does he decide to make something happen?
That is quite the question at this point, but the team's just going to be sorting out the money, just get themselves back into the game. And at least it's early on, they're not too deep into the game yet, so they can maybe just reconvene their individual thoughts.
Yeah, and Astralis is probably thinking at the moment, they want to get Device onto the AWP, so I think they're going to be at that point where, these economic struggles early on in halves, it's always disadvantage to the CT side where, weapons are more expensive, where you have to afford the kit, all of these different things. So they're probably going to be in a situation where the next buy they have, they're going to want Device with an AWP if at all possible. So when does that come out? When is he able to battle? We saw the stats in the pregame. I know the analysts talked it over a good amount. Is Device even coming into this match as the better op player? Which is crazy to think about.
It is a little bit confusing, isn't it? You just think of this whole collective. There's so many capable AWPers in this one game. You've got Guardian, who had his, I guess, time in the sun. He had a huge performance with that not too long ago, but it did subside. Simple, known for having the ability to pick it up and wield it, but also he's backed away for it himself. He's been far more dedicated towards the rifle this event. We saw that double AWPing on, especially Overpass, was something that confused a lot of people, but maybe this is the formula that works for Na'Vi now.
I mean, also, if you look at Simple's career historically, like, some of the issues he's had in previous teams that have had potential is that kind of struggle of who's going to be the opera when Simple comes onto it. Because, yeah, he's very, very good with it. Also very good with the AK-47s. But, I mean, notably in Liquid when he was there was always that kind of battle of who's going to be the actual primary opera, who gets it when there's only one op available for a round. So in this, and I think, he's been pretty open that this is him, I think, trying to fit into this Na'Vi team, like trying to make this work as a unit instead of being that reputationally individual player.
Because we were all waiting for that Na'Vi lineup to click, aren't we? It's all just like, when you look at it, you look at the pure potential, you remove, I guess, certain factors away that obviously hinder them, and you just think, if it all works.
If it happens.
If it happens, I don't know who can stop them. At the moment, Astralis have somewhat of a similar storyline, I guess, in my eyes, is the fact that they've beaten the quote-unquote choke, right? They got over that hump. They won a massive victory for themselves, but now it's, can we sustain? Can we really string this together? Was it a one-off, or do we actually have everything we need now to take this one forward? This is going to be a huge test, of course. I think we are back underway into this. So, guys, thank you for sticking around with us, being so patient, and we can get this one right. Kicked off with a bang, and Guardian might be the one to provide just that.
It seemed like Device wanted to peek that for a moment, so could get dicey. There's a nice flick down. Good shot from Guardian. Nothing too fancy, just good to see the flicks on point. 5-on-4 advantage. Ooh, almost.
Yeah, they're looking for it. Dupree's going to back away. It's like, well, there's only so many times I can kind of play with the devil, I guess, before he kind of hits you back. So at this point, though, I like Na'Vi's approach. They're not just rushing it. You can see this kind of sort of experience, sort of calmness that they seem to be able to exude on stages like this, for now at least. They haven't fully pressured. Astralis is still on that really shambolic buy at the moment. Desperate to get towards that full purchase where you get Device on the op, you get that really competitive matchup. But Simple, a bit of a tussle towards Palace, but going to back away. Again, Na'Vi haven't fully committed anywhere, barring Seized, who's really starting to step towards that B site.
Yeah, and I think he's just listening for footsteps. I don't know if you heard him, but he definitely spotted Dupree there. Nades out, he's going to push forward. He's going to be aggressive. He spots two. Wisely doesn't commit to this. Plenty of time in this round. Edward gets another kill, but Na'Vi is essentially not committing to any fight until they know it's the one they want to take. This is really nicely done from Seized.
Nice.
Double kill for him. And there goes the danger. All 5 members of Astralis fall. And are they going to try and buy into this round? Yes, they are.
Yeah, Zipnix can drop over the AWP, so should be okay across the board here. Yeah, there we go. So it's going to spread out, and let's see if Device actually can make an impact. It seems like something they've been desperate for. They're looking towards to get into that kind of real meat of the game. They have no kits, though, no mollies. It's still a little bit stretched on this, but maybe a quickening of pace from Na'Vi. Look at this from Edward straight away. Device gives the position, and now can he find anything with it? Edward instantly wants that challenge, though.
Yeah, pretty clever. I mean, Edward jumps over a bullet almost, and then jumping down beneath that smoke would be hard to spot if Device overcommitted and swung out a little bit wider. So good stuff from Edward. They've at least dodged the early damage, and that's the thing. If Astralis, as we've seen, if they're going to put this much emphasis on mid control, you need to have that AWP when Guardian has his. You need something to be able to challenge against that. Guardian also at the top of mid. And this patience game from Na'Vi is going to be effective in another way. There's no more smokes on the Astralis side. They just used their last one. So at some point, this is going to run out, and then Na'Vi is going to have about a minute in the round where they're going to be able to freely look through these choke points, and they have all their utility for executions.
And we all know Na'Vi can play a slow game if they have to. It was what they used to be known for. It got quickened recently, but if they can fall back to this as something that they can depend upon, you know they're going to nail it. So here we go. Smokes start to go in. Smoke towards deep connector. They know where it's coming from here, so Kierby going to just stick out for the fight. This is a dangerous game, and he doesn't win it. Edward becomes the victor, and now we have a 5v4. Complete control towards mid, at least starting to be gained by Na'Vi, especially with that. Boost towards the window is big here. And now, Zipnix, you've got to be careful, because Guardian, I think he wants this.
And Molotov trying to force Zipnix away from peeking towards mid. This is an off angle, though. This is going to be a hard angle for Guardian with the AWP to hit, and there's the elbow showing. They know he's there, they know he's close up, and he's slowly backing away. This is gonna be a split towards the B bomb site. 1 kill down. Zipnix holding strong. Flashbang comes in from his teammate, and Simple can't get the flank on. He does find 1 kill, but dangerous for Na'Vi in a 2-on-3.
Yeah, this looks almost impossible now as Edward's on 12 HP in a 1v3. It's not gonna be too comfortable for him, and Zipnix will close the book on that round. Back all even, and the AWP, it may have not have decided everything, but it certainly changed a couple of pieces up there, and Zipnix certainly had a great time towards short. Not sure on Seized running into this, maybe expecting a little bit of a trade coming through, or just maybe hoping that Zipnix would have been caught off and a flash came through to really help out towards that Guardian pickup.
Yeah, it's tough to make that call as well, because you're trying to be coordinated with your split from upper B, and at the same time, I mean, you never know. Maybe Zipnik's teammate is calling for the B hit, so Zipnik turns around and it's all clear at that moment. So that's just a risk you have to take to try and have some kind of cohesive hit on that bomb site. Doesn't work out. Zipnix holds strong, and he's been a stellar player for Astralis throughout this event. How clutch he can be, but it's not just the 1vx situations. It's performing well and just holding his position, doing his job.
Guardian looking to find a way towards that B site for his team, looking for any chance to crack this one open. On the other side is Dupree, just desperate that no one nades him, mollies him out. It's going to be a rocky road. Look at that already. Doesn't actually get any damage done, so Guardian.
Why not?
That's some CSGO for you if I've ever seen it, but that is a little painful. But now, again, Na'Vi, such caution they're playing with.
Slow pace. So yeah, this mid control, the good thing about it is now Seized has good position at the bottom of mid. Edward's going to be there as well, so they can actually come up. I mean, a lot of pressure on Device to be able to hold off anyone coming in through connector, because he's also got to be mindful of players coming on Palace. He can't be overexposed from there at A ramp. If Na'Vi smokes him off, he's going to have to be aggressive and a little bit risky to find an impact, and it looks like does Guardian want to challenge this?
3 avenues of attack that Device is going to have to be questioning, worrying about. Seized through connector, 2 through ramp. We're going to know that they're coming now, but Guardian, are you up for the challenge? Look at the time left, 25 seconds. This has to be perfect from Na'Vi. They've run this down so low, and here we go. Device will find Flamey. Expects the push from Palace, but that's not it. It's Guardian, and it's Seized doing what they need to, but 15 seconds, and Glaive is not letting them through. He will not let them pass, and Guardian burns alive, but it's Xyp9x to close out the round.
Yeah, a little bit of a dicey hit. Nice hold, Device. I mean, that's a tough shot for him to hit, the jumping shot. It's good coordination from Na'Vi. Guardian gets the leg in return, but the rotation on its way. When it's that low on the clock as well, which Na'Vi is known to do, rotations are going to come in very fast. They're going to be very, very committed with the timer at that low. And obviously, Glaive just patient in that position, not giving it away until it's absolutely needed. This round, though, again, smoke at the base of Catwalk. Guardian peering towards connector, waiting for the shot to come out. Actually, there's a gap in that. Smoke is a little bit off, so Device gets the opening kill. With Guardian, that's so close for Device to peek that, but dupreeh with another one. This is a big advantage early on for Astralis.
It feels like a while in the making since we've seen Astralis making those first moves. Even though they are leading in this, it has been Na'Vi just grinding them down to those last couple of seconds, and Astralis closing out pretty nicely on it, but still, a lot of threats still up on the board here, a lot of opportunity, and still so much time to play with too.
Yeah, this is the thing as well. In this round, there needs to be damage done to Astralis' economy. They're up 5-4. They're in a good position, and they have the money of Na'Vi. It's down low. It's breaking point. So if Na'Vi want to continue to have a good half and a chance to really blow this out, they need to keep the money low. They need to get 2 to 3 kills this round, and then they just can't let Astralis, because the next round will be a save, so they can't let Astralis build up too much of a bank.
I actually like this spot that Xyp9x put dupreeh in, just kind of putting him on the side. He's low HP anyway, so he can just try and play to this, but 3 players already here from Astralis waiting for that wave of Na'Vi to come through, and Xyp9x, he can't get the connection. He's desperate for it. He's just waiting for them to come through, and Flamey finds it. 42 seconds. There's still so many members on this site, though, from Astralis. This is almost impossible for Na'Vi to break into. It's so tough now. Yeah,
especially because now they've been slowed down. dupreeh is the insurance policy. There's no way they clear that out. Guardian, oh, he sees one. Not quick enough, though, and actually he didn't spot dupreeh there. Now he should know. I think he heard the firing.
Oh god, that flash.
That's not bad, but Glaive's going to get the kill anyways. Guardian just stuck, and they're going to recover the AWP as well and pass that over to Device in the next round.
Yeah, really nice pickup, and the money starts to get a little more solidified for Astralis here. They've been looking for that. It's been that back and forth game for them. Even in the rounds they've won, it's been a bit close here and there. Na'Vi, though, as you highlighted last round, is breaking point.
Yeah, they've lost 3 rounds in a row, though, so the money bonus is going to start building up. They can invest a bit into this round and still be able to buy some. You see, actually, aggression from Simple. So, I mean, this is a little bit of a risk. He's fully bought out into this round with this kind of a purchase, so looking to do some of that damage in this round to follow things up to keep the money low.
Yeah, Simple's going to have to be playing with some murderous intent here if he actually wants to get anything done. Bit of a hero rifle, maybe he can get some decent trades off his teammates. We'll see what he can achieve with this one. It's pretty much all eyes on him unless Seized, also with armor and the Tech 9, might be able to find a bit of play towards connector, but Kiev, he's playing it well, keeping it well in mind, and Glaive needs that to be covered off. He's still tucked in on the site, so if he gets surrounded, problems do occur, but still, Astralis should be able to lock this one out, and there it is. Simple already being denied by Device. This almost looks like the round could now just ground to a halt.
Yeah, I mean, brilliant game sense from Device. Very nice read of the timing because he wasn't in that position for very long. He had just rotated back. Maybe he was there for just a couple seconds before Simple makes that peek. So if he makes that peek and Device isn't there with the op, he finds the duel he wants against an M4. Unfortunately, Device just reads the situation too well. The Na'Vi, this is the next danger point for them. Can this work? This is what would open it up, and the timing's not with them. KRB finds it just as he looks away. And yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot more things that Na'Vi can plan on doing to get into this site. Astralis with a commanding win in this round.
Yeah, stability is what they're looking for, and stability is what they just be getting after this couple of moments. Flamey finds 2, and now I get worried, but Glaive. Just the rock of Astralis so far. We saw a couple of rounds, that late A hit again, he thwarted that one, and he holds strong into this. So we do have a pause coming in, and I can imagine this will be a Na'Vi discussion point now as to how do we come back into this, how do we feel we can approach it, because they're now back on that nice buy.
Yeah, and one thing Astralis is doing very, very well is just the mobility of this defense. Just talked about Device rotating back to get to that A-bomb site, but the big thing about it is even when Na'Vi, when they executed and that round Flamey gets 2 kills, you know, usually there is about 2 players in that A-bomb site, and then, you know, you're looking elsewhere for the other opponent, but Glaive is able to just be so patient because they're rotating players. They're being active on the map, and they're getting a 3rd player to that A site at the right time. So even those 2 kills, the site's not clear, and you could see Na'Vi a couple times just not expecting that 3rd player to defend the site.
Na'Vi may be starting to be a little bit red here by Astralis. I know they've been putting work into this matchup. They stayed incredibly late yesterday as well. Just came in, didn't have to play the games. They just stayed there, practiced through it all. So these guys, they're not taking this lightly. There's no excuses for them anymore. If you're willing to go out there and bring up a tweet from Taz, just saying, you know, we're number 1, you better turn up and you better be able to play, you know what I mean? So Device, he knows what he's done. He's put a lot of eyes towards their performance. So let's see what they've got. The unpauses come in, so we'll be starting this one back up in a second. 7-4 is the current scoreline. Favorable to Astralis, but these rounds have been close, and Na'Vi just called the timeout. So if there's gonna be a turn of events, it's gonna be soon.
Yeah, 4 rounds left as well. So, I mean, there's still a good chance for Na'Vi to have this be a very good half. They're gonna be happy at the moment with 4, but they'd love to get at least 2 more onto the board.
Look at the pace. Look at the speed that's coming in from Na'Vi. They're just gonna go barreling towards Connector, and yeah, he's happy with this. Why not? But Guardian's there to trade. Really important work from him. But Dupree's pushed up at B. This is so backwards now. You've got to be careful where they go. They've given up the B side control, but Dupree can change this one around if they go there. But the bomb's still at A. It's still with Season. He just got down Glaive.
Yeah, and this is the big thing, is that Na'Vi known for slowing these rounds down, and the bomb is alone. This could be bad. Is he gonna be ready for this? Oh, he is. He actually spots it out, so he knows the danger. He's just isolated all alone. He's the only one here, so he's very afraid to be aggressive. This is dicey. He's got to win this fight.
Siege, you've got to do this for your team, and he does. He keeps them in this round. That's massive. Now Zipnix wants to go at it. He wants to bite at the cherry as well, but look at the response. Siege is running as fast as he can, and Guardian might have just nailed this round as Device goes out. And we're going to see Device just reeling off the back of that one, and there's Zipnix to fall too. Na'Vi play it through mid, they pick up the pace, and they pick up the round.
Yeah, it actually looked a little bit scary. That smoke Astralis is using in Connector is really nice to stop kind of aggression into Connector from the low point. Not necessarily from Catwalk, because it's so deep into mid that it gives the defensive player in Connector a better vision of who's coming through the smoke. So there's less randomness for the CT player who's in that position. Easy kill, but it's Guardian who follows it up with a couple picks. And a win on a Device in the duel. This time now, the money of Astralis is low. Pistol out on Glaive, UMP on Dupree. No armor on Device, and that's a missed Molotov. It's okay, he was the hero last round. We'll give him a break.
Yeah, I think he's allowed that.
Yeah.
But look at this play, straight through Palace. They know there's not going to be much presence there, but actually there is. How have they found these kills? Glaive, Zipnix, and Kyobi. This was like a go-in dry hit from Na'Vi. They weren't going to be holding back. They were going ahead of the smokes, and now Edward is there, being the one to pull this back to being a competitive round. At least Guardian as well finds Zipnix, and we're back to a 2v2. Dupree and Glaive wondering where it all went wrong.
There's utility, though. That's the thing. Na'Vi needs to get this bomb down. They've struggled at times in late round with how they use it, and Guardian's on the hunt. This is what we like to see from him. The pistol's coming out. He's spamming him through. Dupree's trying to sneak up. I don't know if they're going to expect this. They're clumped up. They've got to be very careful.
And Astralis hungry like the wolf, but Edward is the one to bite back, and now Guardian waits. He spots the leg, but it's not enough. Edward goes down, we're down to the 1v1. Guardian not gonna let it slip. Gets 2 for himself, Edward with 3. And for a round that looked like Astralis that pulled the wall over their eyes, they just fight out of it.
Yeah, that was actually very dicey. This seemed like a very slow hit, and Na'Vi wins none of the initial battles. I think this was, what, a 2-on-5, a 2-on-4? I mean, Guardian bails him out of a lot of issues in that round. 13-7 for him, but the impact he's having is huge. This time, Astralis, they've got no armor. They've got nothing but some upgraded pistols. They're still in the lead, but it's dwindled very far.
Between both of these teams, when your average is excellent, you can imagine how hard they're gonna have to fight for every single round in this game. Astralis just going to have to sit back in this round. They know that this one's not looking too likely. Any damage is good, anything they can recover, great, but you're edging towards the end of the first half. So with that in mind, Na'Vi again, slow it down. They seem to have so many different modes they can go to here, Na'Vi. This seems like the Na'Vi almost of, you know, that dominance on Dust 2, where they had that incredibly slow hit on T side. They could speed it up if required. And then you had Guardian being that additional layer of just brilliance.
Well, the other thing is we just saw them take a pause and then win a couple rounds. So, I mean, you also have Starix, who, you know, was considered one of the best coaches we have in Counter-Strike. So, I mean, that's always a nice luxury. Oh, and that's, look at that. So, willing to drop the op over to Simple just because he's taking the dink. He's going to be a little bit more passive. Another one goes out onto C's, down to 30 HP. So Na'Vi a little bit tough, but they're going to avoid the stack, which is over towards the B bomb site. So despite taking some damage, there's no real danger here.
You've got to play a gamble every now and then if you're Astralis on what you have. You know, it's not like Na'Vi haven't hit the B site, but safe and sound so far is what the round looks like.
Here's the thing, when we've seen Na'Vi, this version of Na'Vi play this map in the past, it's CT side where things have really gotten a little bit dicey. So there's still plenty of hope for Astralis. And actually, this is a pretty nice round for them so far. It's a 3-on-3. I don't think they have a chance of necessarily winning it, but if they can salvage gun, do more damage, force some, I mean, anything you can kind of do at this point.
Yeah, it's the little things. Now into that 3v2 where no one has armor, they have no kits to play with, and Na'Vi have put their foot down. They've just stopped it before it started. Kirby, what do you want to do? Do you reckon you can get that up away from Simple? He's just round the corner, and timing, here we go. Does manage to get at least the up away from Simple, but that can be recovered. Flamey is right there if required, and he's got it. So, 2 left standing for Na'Vi, but more importantly, the round on the board.
Yeah, that would have been very nice. I mean, the money for Na'Vi wasn't really that strong, even going into just the last round of the half, so they were able to take even just one more gun away. We could have seen a weaker buy, but Na'Vi avoids that danger. And I believe this is a Na'Vi pause as well. So one more just to make sure they get that 8th round. I mean, I just mentioned their CT side is where they've had struggles, so knowing that they need to get as many rounds on this T side to make this work.
Na'Vi need to set the tone for the second half in their minds. Confidence is certainly a factor with them as a team. We know what Simple can do. We know when confidence is sitting with Guardian as well. They've just become, it seems like, unstoppable. Edward as well having good games as of late, but not to be the headliner in this one.
I mean, and actually, if you look at even the Astralis side of things, Device has been pretty neutralized with that AV mid. He had a couple good rounds there in that mid stretch when Astralis, I think they won 4 in a row. But outside of that, he's been a little bit quiet. Most of Astralis' very, very good rounds you've seen as tactically outplaying Astralis, making the right rotations at the right time over towards that A bomb site as well. So this will be a tough round for them. No op on Device.
No, this is not the perfect buy, and they know what happens to Na'Vi when things start going their way, so they need this one to really smooth out. But look at Guardian, he wants to do it all himself, but Kirby is there with Glaive, and they push up aggressively towards ramp. Astralis taking the reins of this round and running with it. Yeah,
Na'Vi just got hit in the face, and they just want to fall back. That nade, I mean, you could see Guardian on the hunt, but the nade slowed him down, and then the spam through the smoke. Kirby finds a good kill. Sometimes you need to get just a little bit lucky to make an opening happen.
Look at Seized. He might have found a way in here. He doesn't know it yet. He has no clue how much of a bit of a head of the curve he is, but
he also doesn't know that,
out here now.
He also doesn't know that Astralis had no one at the B bomb site for about 20, 30 seconds. So gutsy play calling, and I mean, even more of it here as Kirby comes up. Yeah, and Seized with his knife out, couldn't get the AK out in time to fire the shot. So Kirby gives Astralis a big advantage. That's a great luxury to have if you're Astralis, the confidence to be able to retake that B bomb site if that's where the play goes for Na'Vi.
And Astralis do not want to allow a single opportunity to fall into Na'Vi's hand this round. You can see how they're playing, peeking through the smoke there, though. Xyp9x with a lovely little angle leaves it down to Simple and Edward. And we've already seen Edward do well, but not this round, not to be. It's Simple in the 1v4, and he is not going to get the job done. Astralis close out the half well for themselves. A back and forth game we're already seeing, however.
Yeah, 8-7 for Astralis. That's very nice. But, I mean, this is next coming up, the Na'Vi on the CT half. This is where we saw Guardian lights out yesterday.
It's all for Na'Vi to do. Let's see what they can do after this very short break. We'll be back in a second. 7-8 on the half. Na'Vi trailing but merely by 1, and Astralis coming out swinging into this. Guardian looking good. Device yet to really kick into this one. A couple of moments have been shared between this and the man on your screen there. Edward having a couple of nice rounds for himself as well. So both teams have it all to play for in this half to get themselves that one step closer to the semifinals.
And then this is where Astralis is going to get scary on this T side. I mean, it's not necessarily Navi's weakness, but I mean, even at the major, we saw how much Astralis could adapt in the middle of halves, how they could change things up, how they could work out what the big issue was and where they could exploit. So even if they run into some trouble, this is also, by the way, Glaive has been a huge impact player for Astralis on the T side. Guardian almost getting caught out, but I think he spotted at least 2 or 3.
Yeah, Zipnik's already going to put down the smoke, and here comes the play. Glaive with a quick tussle towards short, but the player through connector are coming in thick and fast. One being Glaive, one being Dupree, and here we go. These guys starting to kick off, and Flamey is holding back. He is still alive, and he could have done something, but that is a swift no being gifted out by Astralis. You blink and you miss it. That round was crisp.
Well, I mean, look at the difference in the 2 pistol rounds, because Navi also tried to send 3 players up connector on their T pistol round, but Astralis throws a smoke on Catwalk, and they even leave 1 player there to occupy the defender, just to cover the teammates coming up those stairs, and that provides so much. Once those players come up connector with those Glocks and are just that aggressive, it's very, very difficult to stop. There was even a smoke in jungle, I believe, so I mean, just great. That's the difference in the utility usage and how it helps those players.
Yeah, I think Glaive put his towards short and Zips went towards jungle, so they just kind of smothered off the route there. And now we see the stack coming out from Na'Vi. 4 players gambling this round towards A. Now Astralis should be able to feel this out. They should be able to test these waters, heading themselves through mid. That 3-man line just encroaching throughout the map. You can see it, but Guardian doesn't care. That's a shot and a half. Glaive's head's just rolling on the floor here, and that's going to speed up, if anything, the Astralis hit towards B. A quick rotate as well coming out from Na'Vi to match this.
Yeah, handheld op from Guardian. Seas is the next up, but they're coming up. Catwalk, there it is again. A second 1D. Seas trying to hold off as long as possible. Guardian does fall with his 2 kills, but Simple, this is what he does best. He could ruin their day, but he's not able to. Flamey now out. They're just throwing bodies at this into a one-on-one, and it's Edward versus Zipnix. 2 of the wiliest, clutchest players we have in the server.
Zipnix has been outstanding in this entire tournament so far in these situations, but can Edward outdo him? The classic champion who's had his hand on that trophy before, fighting for it again, but he can't get it done. Zipnix retains those ridiculous stats that he's held so far, gets himself an AK and gets the job done.
How many times is this man gonna bail Astralis out of these clutch situations? Very nicely done from Na'Vi with the rotations. I mean, 2 great shots from Guardian help out, but getting over towards that B bomb site in time to keep delaying the plant, keep whittling down the forces of Astralis, but it's just Zipnix in the end who again plays the hero role. Interesting that, I mean, it's a good thing Guardian got those 2 kills, by the way, because investment in a Deagle in that previous round, you know, could have hindered perhaps him not being able to have an AWP moving forward. I'm sure he did the math in the economy, but that's when you start, you know, maybe you have an AWP, but you don't have armor, you don't have the nade. So those 2 kills really help to alleviate that kind of economic loss.
Picking up the deficit, bit of a stack coming out from Na'Vi. Right place, right time, good pitch. Nice timing as well. Oh my god, what? What? Simple? How has he found 2? It's a 2v2, Moses. Zipnix is on 1 HP. Surely he can't clutch it this time. And what on earth is this round? He's done it again, though. He's found Simple and Guardian. You've got to do something here, surely. The bomb's still down on the site, and Guardian's looking for any avenue he can find, any edge. He's only got the P2K. He's got no armor. This shouldn't be the round he wins.
Yeah, and he's got, there's so much time on the clock as well for him to just kind of feel nervous and lose track of where the other players are. Knowing even, I mean, obviously he doesn't know what Zipnix has, only 1 HP, but Guardian just kind of gambling and saying, all right, they probably go back towards the B bomb site. I guess he maybe not know that the bomb is dropped that deep in towards A. So we'll see how this works. Even at long range, 1 bullet from that P2K onto Zipnix is gonna hurt.
And they have no utility to block it off. If they try and cross for that bomb, there's Guardian. He has 1 moment to hit these shots, and it's Glaive gets hit. Glaive's down to 49. Guardian, there's no way you can do this. This is surely impossible. Maybe he's got other ideas. Zipnix is still low, but they've got the bomb, and now here we go. There it is, Zipnix.
Why not? Yeah, he's having himself quite the event in that time. I mean, the edge of the smoke helps him out a lot there as he crosses over. You think maybe Guardian can get lucky just firing off 1 bullet, but smoke just confused him a little bit. So there it is, Guardian with the AWP out, full armor. Device has one of his own on the T side. Astralis up 11-7. They could start running away with this one. Na'Vi not on the board quite yet. This is the first gun round we've had. They've made a couple rounds close. They've kept the money low on this T side.
And Edward, known for his prowess in this sort of spot. With the crowd behind him, maybe something can be done here. But look at this pinch towards mid. Kierby, Dupree working their way under. Couple towards top, still Glaive there. We know how proficient these hits have been, and there it is. The first nail in the coffin comes out from the hammer of Kierby, but Edward playing with fire there. You've got to be so careful.
Brilliant kill from Kierby, but it's the flashbang that secures that. You know, it's not going to show up on the scoreboard that the flashbang thrower gets the assist, but completely blind was Flamey and Connector. So really, really nice timing on those peaks from Astralis. You can see they put the work in. I mean, no confusion on the timing whatsoever. This boost is the next thing up that might kind of try and get Na'Vi back in the round.
But look at the safety play from Astralis. Rather than going through Connector, rather than playing it out that way, they've gone all the way back around. So Edward and Seized are kind of rendered useless. Barring, of course, they can make impact towards Dupree, but the main hit from Astralis is going to be coming from ramp. But there is Guardian, and he does have an AWP, so let's not write him out. But Device will, he has his own pen, he wants to write his own story. And now 4v3, Astralis have the advantage.
Yeah, and actually they're going to try and bring him back into this. It's a 3-on-3. Running out of nades is Astralis. Time is at 30 seconds. They're fine there, but they're losing all the battles. Seized with one onto Kierby. There's Edward as well chiming in, and it's just Device left. 1-on-3, he's going to try and get away. I think all he can do is save at this point. No time left, and it actually looked like they were going to pull it back into their favor. Two very nice flashbangs from Astralis gave them a chance in that round, but somehow it's Seized who comes over with the double kill to pull him back into the round.
Not a name you often say in that sort of aspect, but he is having a good game. And, well, Device going to be holding on to this. No one close enough by, but Na'Vi get the round on the board that they've desperately needed in this second half. They had those 3 rounds going against them, that's fine, but that first gun round is where they need to make the impact.
This is a very small detail, but I think it could actually have a pretty big impact, and I don't like that decision by Edward there at the end to go for the chase of that AWP. Let him have it, because you just win your first round. Economy is still low. You can see how bought out they are, and he's already down in a Fama, so if he's saving that, if he's not chasing down that kill, it's nice if you get it, but the risk, I don't think, would equal the reward in the long run.
He's going to be suffering into this round for sure, but again, Astralis going right back into this. It's so limited with what they're playing with, though. You've got so little. One smoke, one decoy. But you've got the firepower. There's no disputing that.
You can see it's really cool watching Device as an opera as well, because there's no ego in his style of play with the op. He's not going to take the fight, that duel against Guardian. He spots him in the crack as he's crossing Palace, and he just gives it up. He just jumps back. The previous round, he waits for a flashbang to come over before he takes that duel. So very much opping within himself and not trying to do too much. All of Astralis now reconvenes on the other side of the map.
Yeah, Guardian seems to be en route. Edward not far off on short, but it's Seized. He'll have to set this round ablaze if he wants to keep control of this. So many players about to be pouring through that nade. So well done, but can he do more? The molly is going to make this difficult. Will it split them up, or will they just push right through? They are. Astralis are flooding in towards B. Seized gets blown away, and now Edward just has to sit back and watch as they cross. The bomb goes down, and well, Guardian will not.
Nice pick from Guardian, but they need more. This is going to be a tough retake. Look at these positioning. They even have Device with the AWP. He's up in the halls just waiting for this cross, and they're going to have to challenge it. The jumping shot. Device gets another one. Readjusts his position. Edward coming through the smoke, finds one, and Device again. Beautiful position. He's going to get a third. Device is a monster at the moment, and Simple can do nothing. Astralis with a 12th, and there's the rebuttal, there's the response, and there's the broken economy for Na'Vi.
Absolute brutality from Astralis, and there's Device. That's the player we want to see. The one who can make the differences, the one who can start and stop these rounds. But Na'Vi gonna have to just grit their teeth and bear through this round. There's not much they can really do about this, but look at Device, just instantly, just about made the shot. I did not even see Edward there, so great play from him.
Yeah, just so aware of where the next battle that he's going to have to take is coming from, and readjusting his position essentially after every shot. So very, very nice cover with that AWP. If he's not hitting those shots, that retake has a huge chance of being successful with the kills they were getting. 12-8, and yeah, now this is very dicey for Na'Vi.
Now, you know, we saw a couple of P250s in the P2K making big impact before, but somehow it shouldn't happen twice. Let's put it that way. But still, Guardian waiting over by Connector, Flamey as well towards Sandwich. We'll just try and play angles that might pay off, might get him a gun away, might do something at this point.
And yeah, I mean, the bombs is a little bit alone. Kirby's got to be careful with that one. There's the jump down. If he was to fall to a play like that, that's where it gets a little bit sticky, where Astralis has to come back to save the bomb. But even just with USPs, maybe they can recover that easily. No real danger as Astralis playing far back, using the range of these rifles perfectly. I don't think Glaive spotted Guardian, but he might on the cross back. Yes, he did.
Kirby still, I'm terrified of this positioning, but timing isn't going to work out for either player, really. I guess, if anything, Guardian keeps his life, but he only has the P2K to still play with. So towards Connector, nice fake towards B. You can see the smoke there. That put down, I think, by Dupree or possibly Glaive. But Kievi going to be walking through Connector, and who's on the other side? It is Guardian, but only with the P2K. So again, damage is going to be tough to make stick.
Yeah, I mean, even with these USPs, even if you're getting the jump on some of these fights, you're not necessarily going to win them. Glaive and Simple having a duel, and Glaive, again, falling back for the range. There's one from Edward. No big deal, though, so it's going to be 13-8. UMP is in Edward's hands. He might just want to try and save that, because I think, I mean, this might even be a situation where Na'Vi decides to double save. They just, that was how bad the break of their economy was.
Yeah, this could echo throughout the rest of, well, let's say a good couple more rounds at this point. Device going to find Simple in the end, and we have a pause. Na'Vi, it's time to discuss. It's time to reflect on what we've seen so far and come up with an answer. Their money, if I'm not mistaken, is still pretty shambolic.
Yeah, it's not good at all, to put it nicely. Yeah. So this is going to be a buy if they do decide to go for this. They're going to have to win in a different way, because they're not going to have necessarily the arsenal to match up with Astralis. And this is that very, very nice T side we're seeing out of Astralis. Much like Na'Vi's, it's slow, it's calculated. You know, they're probing the defense before they commit anywhere. So they're letting Glaive, as an in-game leader, really just dictate and decide how they're going to attack Na'Vi in the mid-round.
Astralis in their T side, starting to become a little notorious, aren't they, with that? Let's look at it. Thinking about Train, their T side is known to be one of the strongest out there. It's why they often keep it in their map pool. Not to be seen in this game, though, but still, 13-8. Mirage certainly looking good for them. A map that was even good for them under Karrigan's reign, but it seems to have been refined now with Glaive as well.
And here it is. We are going to have the bye. So this might be the game in this round. Na'Vi, this is going to be tough. They've got 2 UMPs. They've got 3 M4s. They're going to just have to straight up win some duels. They're going to have to take fights, even if they're at a disadvantage in C's. That's the danger point.
And look at this 4-man play down towards ramp. They put all their eggs in one basket. They need to make the difference, but Xyp9x does not care. He wants it all himself. That's 3 massive kills, and there could be a 4th soon to follow. Is Guardian stuck in here, timing? Did Xyp9x see him, though? That's the question. He has now flashed up, backed away. Guardian cowers in the corner as Xyp9x waits as the execution. Only 4 bullets, though, but the problem is it's only Guardian. In the meantime, Glaive and the rest of the boys have taken over. Bieber, Guardian does stand, but not for long. Xyp9x with a huge round individually.
The Xyp9x carry, 25-9. The clutches are huge, but this round, taking them all on his own. Just walking right into it, and not a flashbang to go over, nothing to bother Xyp9x, nothing to make him turn, or any uncomfortability at all. And Na'Vi now backs truly against the wall. That was the desperation buy.
This one, Deagle, CZ's, a little piece of armor for Seized, I guess, is something, but finding any sort of value to this in this round when you're not even winning on the gun rounds is going to be very, very tricky. So Glaive not allowing a step out of place with his army right now, with his boys beside him. Glaive there spotting one towards Connector. Yeah, we're going to find Flamey in the meantime. And it's that pinch towards A, looking like it's coming in again. Xyp9x already out with the bomb. Dupree working through Palace. Glaive there finding Guardian. This should be Astralis getting themselves towards 15 and onto map point.
Astralis has got to be probably the best team in the world at how they coordinate their flashes with their opening kills. You know, I mean, how many times do we see them clearing out angles, clearing out crossfires, one flashbang at a peak to find them an easy kill on a blind opponent. It's very nicely done. It's beautiful to watch. It's just good Counter-Strike. M4's on the board. No AWP for the defense in this round again. Guardian.
Glass cannoning up. He's got to make a big play here. All right, Astralis, are you going to close out on this map? Or is there going to be more here from Na'Vi? Let's see what Guardian can do already. Actively looking for that challenge towards mid. Here come those flashes, though. Guardian, you better be ready. He can't hit the shot. He has to back away now. And it's Astralis retaining dominance towards mid.
It seemed like he kind of questioned which one he wanted to shoot at. The second one coming, or the guy jumping. Sees now. Flashbang, turns from it. Bombs all the way back towards T-spot as well. So Astralis, if they continue forward at this attack, they're going to be a little bit depressed. And it looks like they're looking for this kind of a play, and C's can't win it. Simple's here as well. Guardian rotating over to find one. But there goes Simple, and Guardian's got to come up huge here, and he's a man who can do it. A second kill. Can he do more? Behind the flames at the moment. There's the peek, and he recovers. This is massive. Now down to a 2-on-2. And Astralis, yeah, there's the bomb still in T-spot, and I think Astralis now has kind of figured it out.
Guardian is doing everything for Na'Vi that he has to. He will not let them go out of this game without giving everything he has. And now Xyp9x gets the bomb, but nowhere is safe. No angle is covered at this point. You already have Glaive working his way in towards jungle, but look at that HP, 8 HP. Guardian Going to be on that cross as well. One smoke goes in, it gives away the game. Guardian now, will he speed up, will he slow down? He's got Flamey with him. Flamey working through CT, gets flashed down. Zipnix, bomb goes down, and here comes the retake. This is to keep Na'Vi in this map. And Guardian finds one, he looks, oh, Guardian! That is the level of play coming in today, and Guardian means business, ladies and gents.
That is Dirty, the ace. He does everything for Na'Vi in this round. Holding off that hit on the B bomb site, they were so close to losing it. In fact, they might have even lost it, and he pulls it back in their favor. 5 kills, though.
If you want something to cheer for, you've just seen it. Guardian is doing this for Na'Vi, for the crowd, for whatever it means to them. They are making this one work, but the problem still stands. It's 9-15. That's a hero performance from Guardian. Let's just watch it again. Watch this absolute beast coming through in this game. This one round, he gets the ace. He literally does everything.
This has got to be something with the Flames obscuring the vision there on his opponent. I believe that was Device. They just couldn't see Guardian for some reason. But I mean, a brilliant recovery and flick over to even find that kill. But yeah, you're exactly right. Still a long way to go. They've got to rattle off 6 straight to force overtime. And can they actually do it? Because you can't expect Guardian to be able to do that every single round for you. They've got to have other players step up. Guardian sitting at 24 and 16 in a losing effort. He's challenging Zipnix for the top player.
The double AWP, simple, Guardian, here we go. The question that we've had about these guys is where they're going to use it, will they go for it? But Edward's going for it, or are they going to find Glaive? Keeps good HP, backs away, loses nothing. Lovely start for Edward in this round.
Yeah, nice timing on that aggression as well. A little bit delayed. There was no smoke at the base of Catwalk, so Glaive overexposed, thinking those smokes are going to help him out. Good advantage to be found, and this could be the recipe that gets him back into this double AWP. But oh, look at this. There's a lot of faith in Simple here to find these kills. Simple's gonna peek down. There it is. Guardian misses that shot, but it might not matter. 2-on-4 situation. And actually 2-on-1 quickly as Simple's AWP chimes in as well. Edward on Catwalk. KRB's just trying to look for anything, something.
A prayer might be something he needs at the moment, but he's going to find Edward at least. But the bomb in such a treacherous spot and seized. Gonna seize that one. And there we go. Another round on the board from Na'Vi. And they keep the double AWPs, and they keep themselves in this.
Yeah, and importantly as well, with 3 players surviving, even when they won the 4th round previously in this half, they didn't really have money in the next one to have a strong buy. So they've never been able to build up any kind of economy behind this. Now, they can't afford to lose a round, obviously, here in this match. But it is good to be able to have some kind of a cushion for whatever you might need moving forward.
Yeah, and Simple's the one going to be taking up the post at mid this time. He's got a lot to handle. Guardian over by Ticket Booth towards CT, and this could be a bit of a quicker pace, a little bit of maybe a different approach coming out from Astralis, selling a bit of a mid-presence. KRB going to be kind of fed to the machine, it might seem, if he doesn't come out on top, but look at that slow play towards B. Only seized, wait, Simple doesn't even need to see him. Brilliantly done from him, and now Seized is aware. He knows what's coming his way, but he's going to tear him apart limb by limb, but Dupree finally fights back.
Oh, and Simple, there was another chance there, but Edward's got him in a good spot. Simple could be aggressive. Good flick. Bomb's going to get planted. Simple's, no, it's not. He stops it. An 11th round for Na'Vi. Simple showing off with the AWP now as well. You can see the idea, though, from Astralis and Glaive. They knew a double AWP in the previous round. They'd seen them both in the A bomb site, so hit B and force those AWPs into a retake, but it doesn't even really come to that whatsoever. One thing they can look to exploit as well is with Edward playing a lot on Catwalk and at ladder room, Seized is pretty isolated at that B bomb site.
Simple. Could have had a chance in this one if he goes back towards A. So far it's Flamey being the bastion towards that A site. 4 players lining it up here for Astralis as well. The smokes are getting ready. Bit of a jungle smoke, maybe looking towards CT, but will they commit to it? There's already a 3-man raid party heading away, but they seem indecisive. They seem unsure as to what they want to do, but at this point, no one's moving from Na'Vi. They know this game's on a knife's edge. They have to sit and wait to see what's about to be thrown at them. And, well, if you're honest, if you look at who's waiting, it's Simple on the other side.
Yeah, but this is going to be a retake. Simple's actually rotating away from the A-bomb site right now. He's going to wrap around. He's going to be doubled up with Flamey, but, I mean, the big thing is if they're going to play this retake, yeah, Simple doesn't know what he wants to do at the moment. That's a little bit worrying, but if you're going to play this style, when this execute, when the smokes come in, you need to get 1 to 2 kills as they come into the site. It is so difficult in a 5-on-5 retake, and Simple gets aggressive in front of the smokes.
He's pushed into this. He's a madman, and the madman is already doing well, but he can't do any more. Dupree is straight away there. Device gets the AWP. Dangerous addition. And now into the 4v4, the bomb going to be considered to be planted any second. Now Device going to find Flamey, Guardian, Seized, and Edward. It's all on their shoulders now.
As this now becomes a very difficult retake. Device starts this round with a Tech 9, now has the gun he's wanted this entire map. Goes for another peek, and there it is! The flick up, Guardian not expecting it whatsoever. Device stuck in a cubby! He's gonna get a third in the round! Edward finally shuts him down, but this could be all over. Edward needs Zipnik's heroics, and it's not happening. KRB shuts it down as he diffuses in the smoke, and that's the round. Astralis with an A execute. They prevent the comeback from happening.
You saw glimmers of hope coming in for Na'Vi towards the end then, but Astralis put their foot down, they stabilize, they don't let it slip away. They don't choke. They keep that map in their pocket. That is map 1. There is still possibly 2 more to go, so this game is so far from over. Na'Vi, they know this game is still within their grasp. They can still get some under the belt, but for Astralis, they're one step in the right direction. So guys, let's hear what the desk has to say about that.
Lots to be said, Lauren and Moses. Great start, and one very smug analyst who expected the maps to go the other way. Yanko is joining me alongside Chad, and yes, indeed, Astralis take Navi's map pick, 16-11, over on Mirage. You have some time now to explain your thought process behind that call. Was this just you throwing your hands up in the air, or was there justification behind it?
Listen, as some of my colleagues would say, Alex, predictions only matter when you're right.
Yes.
So, I mean, not really. The thing behind this is that Astralis is just such a regimented team. Any map you play them on, besides Cobalt, because that's always going to be banned, you can be sure that they're going to be ready for it, that they're going to have a game plan, that they're going to be able to adapt to what you do. It's just to which extent. The problem with Na'Vi is, even though this is their map pick, they've looked comfortable on the map itself, that they are still a dysfunctional group to an extent, right? We saw that side of them even at this tournament towards the second part of the group stage. So it's always a question of which Na'Vi will turn up.
So from an 8-7 half to a 16-11 finish, Chad, did you at any point towards the end of that start seeing the glimmers of that Na'Vi comeback when the Yorps were firing on all cylinders?
Guardian definitely made me believe there, and I think the crowd as well, as they were getting a bit loud. But it was the Battle of the Orps that we're talking about in the late portion of that map. You even saw Simple getting involved in the action, having a bit of fun, and the Orp even finished it off with Device. But the positive sign, I think, for Na'Vi going into the next map is they did look like they were warming into it, right? They individually started a bit slow, and then towards the end it was gearing up where the stars were getting more frags. That is a positive sign going into Nuke, but it's one that you can easily get shut out on, so it's a little bit scary in that regard. And what's even scarier is the fact that Zippy was still having a fantastic performance. You know, he's had a great tournament, this guy, getting the multi-frags once more. He's not just a support player right now, he's actually one of the stars.
And is he still fulfilling his support role whilst the bodies are dropping?
Well, if the frags are coming to you, right, then and you don't actually need to be throwing those nades to support your teammates to find the frags, it's a little bit of a different environment you find yourself in, and I'm sure he's happy about that, right? Yeah. Like when the 3 guys pushed A ramp and it was his job just to lock that down and get information, he basically had 3 kills handed to him. Yeah. You know, things like that are going to make your stats look pretty nice.
Yeah, and indeed his gameplay did as well. It's not just the numbers behind Zipnik's and his success, something we addressed in the pre-show. So what have you got for me, Yanko, on the Telestrator?
It's a good example of how a game plan works, you know, on the T side, how you can utilize the things you did before in the half to maybe win a round. So you can play it for a little bit. You can see that Na'Vi is they basically have the brunt of their team towards the A side of the map, towards apps in particular. And this is why Seized is just supposed to fake mid control by himself, but he misses this crucial molly. So now we can switch back to the minimaps. You can see why this is important. What Seized, you can pause it here, what Seized was supposed to do. So he was supposed to fake mid control by himself and basically draw KRB and maybe another player who was supposed to be in window room, but Astralis decided to stack B. So he was supposed to draw all the attention to himself, while the rest of his team would explode towards A apps, and the goal is there's only going to be one player that they need to trade with and take control of the site. But instead, what happens? Seized misses the Molotov, he's forced to wait. In turn, that kind of buys enough time for Astralis to react. The strat doesn't work to the same extent, and you can roll out the rest of it now. Actually, Astralis is in a 5v2 situation at some point in this round. You can see their buy. Their buy is pretty weak. They have a 5-7, a UMP. They do have the op on Device. And this is where you can pause it again. This is where it doesn't matter. Towards the end of it, you could see that they were in a 5v2 situation, but they still decided to challenge the Navi players. They gave them a chance for duels, and very quickly, Edward and Guardian, I think it was, they turned it into a 2v2 and were able to win the round. So that's what allowed Navi to have an 8-7 scoreline. Instead, if Astralis wins this round, it's probably 10-5 for them and an even more convincing win.
Yeah, indeed. Convincing perhaps, but still, Na'Vi warming up is the thread we're going to be pulling as we proceed to Astralis' map pick. Those are your words, Chad. They were warming up. Is there genuine truth in this as a player? You can find yourself warming up, finding your game, finding the kind of the grooves for the game?
You can definitely find yourself in a situation of the frags not coming your way or your timing's feeling off, and as you go through the game, you're feeling like you're hitting more shots, and as it progresses, you're getting more confident in yourself, right? Yeah. So when you see that happening and you feel it happening, it may be too late in the game like it was there. That would have been a bit of a mountain for them to climb to get back into that match. It did look like it was becoming possible because we've had some crazy results so far in this tournament, but Astralis shut them out.
And some crazy shots from Guardian. This was that ace, a little bit of retro Guardian, I believe, we get to watch here. This was when the East just started piling them up, from what I remember. It was just exactly what we kind of expect from him on the CT side.
I mean, it's good to see Guardian hitting shots like this, but that last round of the game, it also shows you, how maybe the aggression of Simple can work against him and against his team. So Astralis is kind of on a sort of a weak buy, half buy, right? They go for that smoke K execute, and Simple decides by himself to push through the smoke. He gets the first kill, great, 6 shot. Then he dies, and Device picks up the op. With that op, Device gets 3 more kills. When an execute like that comes in, you need to react as a team. Are we pushing? Are we all pushing through the smokes? Are we trying to kill them instantly? Or are we falling back, waiting for the smokes to clear and then playing the retake? So I think that's something that Navi can't allow against a team like Astralis, who's so structured. You all need to be on the same page because they have both the teamwork and the individuals to punish you if you're reckless like that.
Well, the Structured Stars did pick up our first map here in our second quarterfinal of Katowice. We do have 2 more maps potentially waiting to fill the Spodek with Counter-Strike. We next venture to Nuke. It's already had some crazy upsets, some twists and some turns in the group stage alone. And now we have another game to talk about. It will be Nuke coming up after our break. We'll take a quick one, but when we do return, we're diving into our second map of our second quarterfinal. Let's see if Na'Vi can take us into a third. Close but no cigar on Mirage. We'll see if the second can be any different.